to discuss Saquon and his big game as the Eagles defeated the Rams. Saquon went on a doozer. Absolutely phenomenal game. 26 carries, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns. Man, I love to see his fantasy stats. I believe anybody who had him had, had a very good chance at winning their week just based on what Saquon. 26 carries for 255 and 2 touchdowns. In this era of quarterback football, of pass offense, of heavy pass offense, to go 26 carries of 255 yards and 2 touchdowns is absolutely sensational. As the Eagles defeated the Rams 37-20, and yeah, look, the Eagles balance attack of being able to being able to only throw the ball 20 times, to have, ideally Philadelphia Eagles, they want it to be 50-50. If they could have more carries than passes thrown, even better. They had 26 carries, they only had 22 passes thrown, and when it's Saquon running it for the way he's running it, averaging 9.8 yards a carry, why throw the ball? Why even throw the ball? I mean, he's averaging 6.2 yards a carry. Saquon Barkley is 6.2 yards a carry. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I can't put into words. We're through. Eagles have played 11 games in this season. Check this out: 223 attempts for 1,392 yards and 10 touchdowns through 11 games. That is 126 yards of average per game. It's ridiculous numbers, and it's Adrian Peterson MVP-like numbers. But the problem with the MVP debate is the MVP is a quarterback award. Let's just get that straight. Especially in this era of quarterback offense, of passing offense, how everything is tailor-made so the quarterbacks get all the shine and all the money and all that. It's going to take a Herculean effort for a non-quarterback to win the MVP. Now, you can argue 223 attempts for 1,392 yards. It's a Herculean effort. Well, yeah, you can argue that. But we've seen Tyreek Hill do something similar in terms of from a wide receiver position. We've seen what Christian McCaffrey did last season, not just in terms of rushing yards, but overall all scrimmage yards, the numbers he was able to attain, how vital of a player he was for his 49ers offense. At the end of the day, I don't see how they give it to a non-quarterback. Now, with the rate that he's going, Saquon Barkley, averaging 126 yards a carry, you add, there's 11 games played, so you have you have 6 games remaining. Yeah, because it's a 17-game schedule now. The way he's running it right now, if he can maintain it, which it's an if, he's on pace to go for almost 2,150 yards. If he can break that 2,100 yard mark, I mean, that is a ridiculous number. That is a ridiculous number, and the consistency too as well. The consistency as well to be able to do that is just ridiculous. But you know who someone had also had a big game today? And someone who has had a little bit of a quieter week over the last few weeks and maybe got people to forget about what he was doing, and someone that's doing something culpable is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry this season has 221 attempts for 1,325 yards and is averaging 6 yards a carry with 13 touchdowns. That's ridiculous too. Now, Saquon does have 27 receptions compared to Derrick Henry's 10, but also Saquon has made some mistakes this season that cost them games. Actually, the big one we're talking about really is that drop against the Atlanta Falcons. That drop early on against the Atlanta Falcons, and it was a bad drop. It was a bad drop, and it single-handedly lost them the game. I believe that might be their last. No, they also got destroyed by Tampa Bay. Yeah, but and Derrick Henry hasn't had that moment. But when the thing with that drop for Saquon is the fact that it happened earlier on this season is much less damaging. If that play happened later on this season, where he could be fresh in the voters' minds, that would be a completely different story. So I don't think that's gonna really weigh him down that much. And to be fair, one play like that shouldn't. But Derrick Henry's having an equally unbelievable year, and the importance that he has to the Baltimore Ravens offense is similar to Saquon. Now, Derrick Henry does have Lamar Jackson alongside him as well. That's gonna take away from his impact, I guess. But Saquon has been ridiculous. But you look at other quarterbacks in the years that they've been having. Josh Allen, which I'm not a fan of, but he's up there. In terms of MVP odds. I still think Lamar Jackson, at the end of the day, just overall what he's been doing, I think he's always gonna be in there. And then Jared Goff, he's sneakily in there. What he's been able to do this season, and he just keeps winning games. I don't know. I think this MVP race is something that will come down to the wire, and I definitely think Derrick Henry should be back in the top 5. I see Mahomes in a lot of people's top 5s and not Derrick Henry. Look, has Saquon really been that much better than Derrick Henry this season? No, they both played at similar levels, both really extremely high levels, and what they've done. And by the way, a lot of these running backs that's been succeeding this season have been running backs that have been brought in, during free agency. Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, who had a game for the Green Bay Packers. We're gonna discuss that next segment. Aaron Jones, the free agency market has been something that GMs have benefited off in terms of, the running back free agency market. And in teams that, teams that are not willing to give second contracts out to running backs because of the shelf life and all that, have allowed a lot of top running backs to walk, and it's allowed teams to, that can afford it financially to get, these top running backs into their ball club and to get the best out of them. And I think what's really special about what Derrick Henry has been doing compared to the other running backs is the fact that he is age 30. Running backs have a shelf life nowadays. Running backs, they give us about 3 to 4 elite years and then it's totally plateau. For Henry to do what he's doing for the Ravens, 1,325 yards through 12 games. That's 110 yards a game. He's been absolutely ridiculous. And to do it at age 30, I think is quite an accomplishment. But going quickly to the Eagles Rams game, Eagles, they're showing something, and they've done a great job. You look back earlier on to our perceived thoughts about them after that Buccaneers game, how they've been able to hang in there and started slowly and steadily start gaining momentum to the right way, and then now looking like a team that we thought the Eagles would look like last season, similar to the team that we got that Super Bowl run. And then the Rams, the Rams are who we thought they were. They'll win a game or two here and there, but they're just not a great team. They're an average team in an average division filled with a bunch of average teams, and they're still in it because the Cardinals lost to the Seahawks, and then the 49ers got absolutely bombed. They're still in that division race, but again, there's the Rams defensively, they're leaky. Matt Stafford's still an elite quarterback and playing some great ball, but overall, that offense is just a little stagnant for some reason. It's the Rams are the Rams, and I expected them to be better. Honestly, I thought they would be a lot better this season. I thought Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp would be a hard combination to stop, but yeah, I don't know. It's something that they have to figure out going forward. But the bright side, if you're a Rams fan, is you're still in the division. You're still in the race for that NFC West.